This week we're reviewing The Funeral, directed by Abel Ferrara. The Funeral received 5 Independent Spirit Award nominations in 1996, including Best Film, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Screenplay, and Best Cinematography. Vincent Gallo, the actor playing Johnny Tempo, has alleged that the director Abel Ferrara was high on crack while directing this film, which makes these accomplishments even more impressive.
Yeah, you know what? It seems like Abel's kind of high every time he's making a movie.
Well, this was the movie that he made when he had the disastrous Conan O'Brien interview, where he was seemingly intoxicated on NBC.
I read that the actors kind of worked amongst themselves because Abel was busy getting high on crack in his trailer rather
kind of
than
like absent on set.
Yeah,
I could guess that a little bit.
But at the same time, like obviously the production wasn't such a nightmare where Christopher Walken's like, I'm not working with that guy again.
I'm going to recommend The Funeral and give it 4 stars. It's a movie that really revolves around the performances, which feel very authentic. It feels like there was a conscious choice to use long takes and naturalistic acting. I don't know if that's just because Abel Ferrara was too busy smoking crack to film a lot of coverage, but either way it works, and this film stands as a more naturalistic look at the mafia. Characters are complex, the tension can be uncomfortable, but what's really impressive about the film is the sense of realism. You feel like a fly on the wall watching The Funeral.
I'm going to give it 2.5 stars. I think it's right in the middle. It's definitely watchable. It's definitely interesting. But again, I think I like thinking about it more than I actually liked viewing it. I think the most solid part of the movie was its performances. You can kind of just watch these people be real people. Even though they're doing despicable things here and there, you can feel for each character. It's a mafia movie. It's a crime gangster film, and there's been plenty before it. There's plenty after it. But I think this one is kind of unique in that it doesn't really glorify the criminal. It humanizes the criminal, but it doesn't glorify criminal activity.
Yeah, sure.
Whereas some people who watched like Scarface would take away from Scarface that crime is cool. Even though he gets totally blasted to pieces and his life's a mess, a lot of people have the wrong takeaway.
I mean, even with Scarface, it's a very weird irony because people like wear the fucking "The World Is Yours" shirts and shit. It's like he dies at the end of the movie. It's a pretty clear morality tale. I guess like the Martin Scorsese movies from the 90s, a lot of people perceive as...
Yeah, it's like Goodfellas. It's so good. Everybody gets shot at the end. It's like...
A little bit, but I guess there is a lot of glamour and stuff in it. But this movie isn't glamorous at all.
No.
It doesn't glamorize the criminal lifestyle at all.
In fact, it even calls it out.
The Funeral is currently streaming on Mubi and Plex. I believe both of those are paid services. There is not a Blu-ray available, which is unfortunate, but there is a DVD.
I think Plex is free.
Is Plex a free, one of those
ads.
free ones?
Yeah. I illegally watched it. But the issue was, there's some scenes that are in Italian, and I didn't have Italian subtitles. And
yeah,
so
me neither.
I don't know what the hell they were talking about.
No, I didn't have any subtitles. The version of the movie that I got was like in Portuguese.
Did you watch it in Portuguese?
No, it has an English audio version, but there's just no English subtitles. So
right.
You can't watch subtitles on the Italian stuff.
Yeah.
You can kind of figure out what's going on, but it's a little bit confusing.
Yeah, I think it probably would have been better if I had subtitles because there was a lot of scenes where people are mumbling and they're talking kind of... I just started screaming for a second. I was like, oh, Jesus. I just tried to turn it up so I could hear it, and then all of a sudden someone's getting shot, But neither here nor there. I would say if you are going to see it, watch it with subtitles.
The film opens with the funeral of Johnny Tempio, one of 3 brothers living in New York in the 1930s. Johnny's 2 older brothers, Ray and Ches, are determined to find the man responsible for the death of their beloved brother. And through a series of flashbacks, the film reveals the past relationships of the brothers and their familial bond. Vincent Gallo plays Johnny Tempio, the brother whose murder sets off the film. Johnny is the more sensitive and thoughtful of the 3. He's involved in communist politics of the time, which is in somewhat of an opposition to the capitalist ethos of the mafia and the organized crime world. Christopher Walken plays Ray Tempio, the oldest brother. He's the more cold and calculating type, kind of the ringleader of the family, and it's a departure from a lot of the roles that I've seen Christopher Walken do, where he's so over the top, and this one it's just so subtle and kind of played so realistic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, usually he's all walking out, but in this one he's actually like a real
Yeah, it's not even
character.
at all like the way he kind of performs in King of New York. It's like a totally
Right.
different character. And also seemingly a different accent. It feels like he's doing a specific accent from the area or something.
Maybe.
Felt pretty authentic.
Either way, yeah, I think it's one of Walken's better performances that I've seen because he doesn't just lean into being himself. You know, he's like actually a character here.
Chaz, who's played by Chris Penn, is a hot-tempered lunatic. It's such a subtle and restrained performance from Christopher Walken, and then Chris Penn's character feels like he's going to fucking lose it at like any moment.
Yeah.
He just seems like he's about to have a complete psychotic episode. And Chris Penn won the Volpe Cup at the 1996 Venice Film Festival for his portrayal of Chez Tempio. Mm-hmm. This is probably Chris Penn's greatest performance and role. He will most likely be remembered for Reservoir Dogs and True Romance, but he was in a lot of great films. And I think he passed away almost 20 years ago.
Oh, wow.
He was very young. I think he was only in his 40s when he died.
It sucks.
There's a scene of Vincent Gallo's character before he dies in this film, and they're at like a speakeasy or a bar or something, and they're playing like old like stag films. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what the fuck is going on, but Vincent Gallo's character is like making out with this like 80-year-old woman.
Yeah.
And then Chris Penn starts like sexually traumatizing a prostitute.
Yes.
It's probably the most hard to watch part of the film.
Yeah. It's really, really tough. I mean, again, solid performances. She's all like, I'll suck your dick for $5 and for like something, and he's like, here, take $5 and get out of here.
It's a complicated and strange character. He has this kind of twisted morality where he's like, nah, get out of here, kid. And then when he sees her, like her greed, and he like snaps and like wants to punish her. It's very dark. It's obviously a portrayal of somebody who's like had an abusive childhood or had like this dude's like really fucked up.
He's fucked up.
And I think they make note of that a little bit, that his dad also killed himself.
Oh, okay, sure.
So
but I mean, yeah, a damaged person, and it's clear. But also, you know, crime and like weird sense of morality. And I think
and also just
that
like
comes into the movie.
Complicated emotions and just like a character that seems very real.
I agree with you. It's definitely a very upsetting scene where also it's like you're getting insight into this person's weird mindset. And
his weird kind of the way he interacts with women's very strange. There's a scene where he's like almost fucking getting violent with his wife, and then he just like breaks down into tears. So he's this like very fucked up person, kind of just like clinging on to.
And even in that scene, like, you know, his wife's performance is phenomenal. You know, she obviously loves this guy.
Isabella Rossellini.
Right, who was in Blue Velvet. Which we also reviewed, so check that out. So she obviously, she loves him. She's married to him, but he's obviously damaged goods of sorts. And
all the women in this movie you feel so bad for.
Right. It's solid performances because, like, again, she loves him, and he comes home and he's obviously drunk and all out of sorts. And then he's like, take off your clothes. And she's like, haha, don't be so coy. And then he's like, take off your clothes. And he's like, all right, now I'm kind of scared a little bit. And then he comes over and he's kind of being scary. But then, you know, he like either comes very immediately or like he just like cries on her. And you
was that your interpretation of it?
That's what I thought. He like starts ravaging and then he just like.
And he just comes. And then he cries.
And then he cries. And then he cries.
And he can't hold his load.
And then she like, you know, comforts him because again, she loves him, but he's obviously a very
difficult person.
Yeah, exactly. And you get that look on her face where it's like, man, I'm stuck with him, but I care for him. And this was a scary moment, but it's because he's got these problems. And I don't know, just again, another like weird scene uncomfortable to watch, but also like the performances are like, wow, feels very real. You know, I feel like this has happened and this is.
I felt so bad for these women. They seem like they're like stuck in this life with these mob guys, and it's like it's just not at all glorified. Like the way you see like Tony Soprano's wife in The Sopranos, where she's so happy, and you know even if he cheats on her and stuff, and they have conflict in their relationship. Right. These women really feel stuck in this lifestyle.
And spoiler alert: by the end, they're the only survivors.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
There's
they're the
great
ones who
scene.
have to deal with this lasting, you know, this violence and this crazy lifestyle that the husbands they have live.
There's a great scene where the priest comes to visit during the funeral, And he basically tells, I forget which one, if it was Isabella Rossellini or Annabelle Sorn. It's like, you guys aren't Christians. Like, you're basically atheists.
Right.
Because of the way you live. And Christopher Walken's just sitting in the car when the fucking priest is there. He doesn't want to deal with him at all. But it's like, yeah, no, you guys are completely immoral. And usually you see in these movies, like, the people in the church, and this is also the 1930s. A lot of the mafia stuff is like 70s and later.
Right.
But a lot of times you see like the people in the church are just fucking kissing their asses and not really telling them this shit.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, no, you're living contrary to this religion, and of course you're going to have negative things happen to you if you're living this way.
Even Ray's wife there, Annabella, whoever, says, like, actually has like a conversation and dialogue, something along the lines of, there's nothing romantic about criminals, you know? And
yeah,
so,
I think Johnny Tempio, he's not married yet. He has like a fiance, and they're like, you dodged a bullet by not marrying one of these guys.
Right. Again, to point out that the life of criminals is literally, quote, nothing romantic about it.
Yeah.
I think is to prove the point that, we can't romanticize this lifestyle because it ends up with damaged people and dead people, you know?
Yeah.
And the people around them who care about them, who now are left with broken lives.
And so the Chez character, who you're going to have to assume is possibly like bipolar or manic depressive or something or other, he just completely loses it at the end. He comes into the house and shoots both of Ray's bodyguards, and then he just starts shooting bullets into his dead brother. And he shoots Ray and he kills himself. It's an insanely emotional performance from Chris Penn. And that's the ending. It's all these three guys die
by their own hand, by his own brother's hands.
Yeah.
Who then, who goes over and shoots a dead guy.
Yeah.
And then he shoots himself because being like, what, live without my brothers? Yeah,
and the first time I saw this ending,
self-destructive almost.
I really felt like it came out of nowhere, and it was such a shock. When you watch the movie again, you're like, okay, there's kind of hints to this guy being about to fucking lose it.
So there's hints about him almost losing it, Gary. The whole movie is him losing it.
So it doesn't necessarily not make sense, but it is very jarring and unexpected, and
definitely,
kind of a fucking shock ending.
Do you suppose it's because he's burying this body, the body that Ray killed, the guy who, after
my explanation of it, I don't know exactly. I mean, maybe he's having a complete breakdown. Maybe he's come to the conclusion that this whole thing needs to be stopped.
Right.
You know what I mean? It seems like he's pretty fucking nuts.
Right.
As far as like the movie goes and the text of that, I would assume that there's some sort of thematic thing of like, vengeance. Seeking vengeance isn't the best.
Self-destructive almost.
Yeah.
It
And then I think
comes back around and kills you.
Yeah, and I think the ending is just meant to be very anti-commercial and just like to do something that movies didn't do back then.
Right.
Because when you're making an indie movie, you might as well go crazy and do something interesting. And you're not your hands aren't held by the executive producers or whatever.
Yeah.
Especially at this point, I think Abel Ferrara could just get money in America to make a movie pretty easily. It went the other way in a few years. By the early 2000s, I don't think he was able to pull the money as easily. Even this, I think the budget on this is like 14 mil or something. It's not super small for an indie movie. It's like a little bit substantial because it's got names attached to it and stuff. And I think Abel Ferrara started to struggle. And a lot of the movies that I've seen of his from the late 90s aren't the best. So I would assume his drug use started to kind of get the best of him. And
it's a shame.
His output wasn't as good.
Right. So you're talking about like Body Snatchers?
No, I think Body Snatchers is actually great. I've never seen Body Snatchers.
We keep watching Abel films. Maybe we watch Body Snatchers next because that seems like Hollywood's trying to take. There's a weird director who smokes crack instead of being on set, and it's like, hey, make a sequel in like a weird sort of loose franchise.
Yeah, I've heard Body Snatchers is great. What I'm kind of thinking of is like New Rose Hotel. I thought was pretty bad.
Did you see 9 Lives of a Wet Pussy?
We talked about it on the Miss 45 one. I didn't watch it, but I've seen like clips. Why, you jerking off to Abel Ferrara's porn?
Well, actually, the version that exists now isn't as good as the original cut. But they had sent it, the 35 around to be shown. And back in the day, projectionists used to like clip out, their favorite sex scenes or like,
oh wow,
shots or
so it just
whatever.
comes back with parts missing.
And it came back a totally different movie with all the stuff he liked best missing, which is kind of wacky. And I think the version you can get now is that version with all the cuts.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
At least it still exists, I guess.
Yeah, right. It's only 3 minutes long, but
Yeah.
So what else are we saying about this movie?
That's it. Well, what else you got to say about it?
Bye. No, I guess I said everything I wanted to say.
Don't be sad, Russ. We'll be back next week.
Yeah, it's true. We'll have more.
Sometimes you got to say goodbye to your friends for now, but you always get to come back and catch up with them later.
It's true. Which is great. Which is fun. It's fun.
To create images is always a challenge. Digital magic.